Welcome back to Attack on Titan Anime Review, episode number 24. This time I'm reviewing the 56th episode of the anime, The Basement. Yes, an episode that I think anybody who's been watching the anime has been looking forward to this episode since it was first brought up back in the Battle of Troustark back in Season 1 of the show. This episode pretty much up the entirety of Chapter 85, and it starts to adapt Chapter 86. I'd say if I get through the first few pages. Okay, what happens in this episode? First, you have Armin having a strange dream where he's basically sort of kind of waking up and he's shirtless, by the way, despite having a jacket on. I think it's Aaron's jacket. Yeah, I think it's Aaron's because Armin is shirtless and he's got abs. Yeah. It seems that like a lot of the characters in the series love being muscular. Yep. So the dream is that he's seen the Colossal Titan, which he's the host of it anyway. He's currently the Colossal Titan. And they talk briefly, and apparently the Colossal Titan was crying, and then he just wakes up and you see Sasha and she's bleeding. Now, if I were a doctor and I see that those bandages are causing like more blood to come out, I would change those bandages quickly and have basically tie up those wounds on Sasha. So basically, Aaron, well, he's the first person that Armin sees once he wakes up. Aaron gives Armin a hug because he's so happy to see he's alive. Because apparently, the last thing Armin remembers is, well, Barney turned to the Colossus. After that, he doesn't remember anything that happens after that. So Aaron fills in everything that's been happening. Like the battle, the fact he was able to distract Barney long enough to think about the body, the whole thing would cause him basically become a Titan shift. Yeah, he doesn't mention it, but you don't hear him say it on screen. But yeah, Armin is officially a Titan shifter because he has the ability to transform into the Colossal Titan. Yep, and apparently because of Aaron and Mitsuka's actions from last week's episode, they're going to face disciplinary action for insubordination. Yep. Yep. And that's just what Hange says. So, basically discussing for a little while, it's like everybody else just keep a lookout. And of course Levi says this. Well, myself, Mitsuka, Aaron, and Hange go investigate the basement. Yes. And they walk, they take a kind of like a stroll to the ruined city, and Hange mentions basically how the fire didn't spread out here, which is quite nice. And of course, you see some flashbacks of basically like some like you see like the young Aaron and young Mitsuka just running about. And of course, this is like during the period of time before the Colossal Titan showed up. Yeah, whenever it showed up, like 5 years of her present day. Now, Aaron himself has not been to this particular town in 5 years, so he's basically just taking it all in, seeing his place again. The place has been in ruins for years. Excuse me, yes. And eventually they get to his house. Of course, they also like reflash that basically we see Aaron's mother, who, and it's commented by, I think it's Zeke, that Aaron looks more like his mother than his father. Yes. Then they get to the basement. Yeah, Aaron finds it pretty easily. Thanks to exactly where it is, basically. And they take off a rock, which they have all four of them basically use like boards to lift this big boulder up. And I'm thinking, no, Mitsuka is an Amazon, has Amazonian strength. Why not have her lift it up? I guess they didn't want to waste her, so they take it off, lift the thing up, walk down, and Aaron trying to use the key he was given to think it's the key to the basement. Nope, it does not work for this lock at all. Asked what key it was, never gonna find out because we live at okay, key doesn't work, key doesn't work this thing, so he just basically just give a roundhouse kick and smashes the lock and partially smashes the door. They go in, and of course they mention about Gershon Jaeger, Aaron's father, being a doctor, and Hans commented, yeah, the way basically the place looks like a laboratory. Well, it looks like a doctor's study, and nothing unusual here. Yep. And then like Mitsuka basically knocks her up, and then she sees a keyhole on the side of Dr. Jaeger's desk, and And Mitsuka points out, why don't you use the key on this keyhole? Aaron's like, okay. So he opens it, he pulls it, and he thinks it's empty, but no, there's a false spot. He lifts it up. There's actually stuff like peppermint and some kind of other thing to keep away moisture and bugs. And what is in these books? Now there is something that they don't read everything that happens in these books. It's basically these little books that look like journals, possibly, because they explain stuff that's going to set up in the next few episodes. They open it up and they come across. They think it's basically a portrait. No, and of course it's written on the back that this is a photograph. Yes, a technology they have never seen before. A photograph. And what you're seeing is real. And it explains pretty much how photography works. Well, early, kind of like 19th century, basically it's 19th century photography technology where there's fire and you have to press like a button. I've seen pictures of these things, and I've seen these things in films where an old camera. Now cameras nowadays basically like you see them like on your phone, like this, or ones where basically a lens comes out. These ones are basically a box about this big, like around this size. They stand on a tripod, and there's like cloth over the back of it, so that basically you get a good view when you're taking a picture of, and you have like this little like button you push. It's kind of like something that a doctor would use as well, where he would just, well, basically press it, like pump it up and just take a picture. Just snap, smoke, and poof, that's a picture. Yeah, that's probably what they're using here. And then they decided to go back to Wall Maria. They go back to they go back home, and of course you have Don Praxis there, and General Zachary, and a few other generals. Of course, this is years before what happened to General Zachary currently in the manga. It's possibly might be dead. Yes, and so they're apparently they've been talking for about a good few days. Even a bit of flashback of Erin's basically childhood, basically asking what's behind the walls, and then I think this is the girl. This is one from the Interior Police, where she informs them that they have returned. There's sort of a celebration. And then you see the Silver Corps members on top of the wall, the surviving. Apparently, there's like 90 people left, and I think this is Levi because I can't really tell because the green cloak. It could be Levi, and he's holding the 3 books. As what's in the books, we don't know. And then we cut to the credits. Well, apparently, it's like a montage. A lot of the stuff that's happened over the course of the past few seasons. And then we have sort of post-credits scene. Yes, something that's never been shown in the Attack on Titan anime. A post-credits scene. Basically, as soon as you hit the credits, like after the credits over, you get a sneak preview of next week's episode. This one is quite interesting. Apparently, it's basically the start of chapter 86. Where you see young Gershon Yeager with his sister Faye, where they basically, and this is basically the country of Marley. Yes, this is the country of Marley, because one of the way this is not the regular island you're familiar with is because, one, they put on armbands with stars on them that look like starburst stars, and they look in the sky, and it's a freaking blimp. Yes, a blimp. Marley is known for having these things, like a whole boatload of these things. And they see a blimp, and they go to the edge of their town. And, of course, Gershon basically wants to see what's the other side of the town, and they run out without permission, and that's where the episode ends. Yep. Not exactly a preview. Basically, they do say next week's episode is called That Day. So, here's the thing. With this episode, because they've already fully adapted 85, there's exactly 5 chapters left to be adapted. And here's the thing. There's only about like 3 episodes left. So, yeah, they actually kind of started 86. I don't think they finished it. No, I think they got like my first like 5 pages maybe. Or maybe like 3 pages in the course of like a minute. So, I think next week's episode will continue with chapter 86 and probably go through chapter 87 and 87 as well. Yep. That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah. But this overall was a pretty good episode. And it did live up to the hype. Like, it wasn't exactly a full secret of the Titans, but it does reveal a secret that basically has been hinted at since for quite a while now, that there's something beyond the walls. Yes, beyond walls Shuhash. Yeah, there's something beyond beyond the area of Titans. Though we won't get to that yet because when I looked up online, apparently here's the thing. From chapters 86 to like 89, it's all flashback stuff about Gershon Yeager's childhood. Well, basically his time in Marley before it comes to where the story of the series takes place. Yeah, this overall, fantastic episode, okay? So, that's it for this particular review. I have one more review I'm going to do next. And it'll be a comic corner. So, until you see you there, bye.